Hey, this is Emmanuel, founder of WP Companion and the creator of our Scotiabank Payment Gateway Plugin for WooCommerce. Today I'm going to talk about one of the most common questions I get from new customers when purchasing our plugin, and that is whether or not our plugin can accept multiple currencies. Now, the short answer to this question is yes, it can accept multiple currencies, but there are a couple things that you need to be aware of in order for it to work as expected. So, just to get into the details, the first thing you want to do when signing up for your Scotiabank eCom Plus account is to select the option to accept multiple currencies. So, for Caribbean islands in particular, most likely you will want to accept your local currency as well as US dollars. So ensure that when you're signing up for the account that you select US and your local currency. If you've already set up an account with Scotia and you previously selected to only accept payments in your local currency, you can always reach out to their team and they will assist you to set up an additional currency on your account. And once that is done, you now have the building blocks in place to accept multiple currencies, but there's one more step that you need to complete in order to get it done properly. And that is to configure your website to accept multiple currencies as well. So that's what we're going to do here today. We're just going to go through the process of installing a quick currency converter plugin, and then I'm going to show you how it works and demonstrate the full process of accepting multiple currencies on your website. So let's jump in. First, we're going to go to the administrative area of our website. And then we're going to install one of the most common currency switchers available for WordPress. And I've tested this plugin with multiple websites, and it works on all of them, so you can rest assured that this works. It's called Fox Currency Switcher Professional for WooCommerce. And the free version of this plugin allows you to accept 2 currencies on your website, which should be enough for most Caribbean merchants. If you do want to accept more than 2 currencies, however, you're going to have to pay for the professional version of this plugin. Okay, so now that that's installed, I just want to highlight that the currency switcher has been moved, or the currency settings for WooCommerce has been moved. So generally you would find your currency settings here, but it says it will give you this message here that says you want to go to the new currency area to configure currency, right? So you can either click that link right here, or there is a new tab up top here that says currency. All right. So this is the interface for the Fox Currency Switcher, and it's a little bit jumbled, but let me just go through some of the settings here and everything will make sense afterwards. Okay, so like I mentioned, by default, this plugin, the free version of this plugin allows us to accept 2 currencies on our website. And I had this plugin installed before, so it automatically set up USD and Trinidad and Tobago currency for me, but I think by default it comes with USD and pounds set up by default. So let's say you just install this plugin and you operate in Jamaica, right? And you want to configure it. First, you need to change the currency here. Okay. This plugin allows you to set a currency symbol. And this is a great feature because we have the regular dollar, we have pound, we have euros, etc. But we don't have our currency symbols by default in this plugin. But it allows us to add custom symbols. And I would have added 2 custom symbols before, and I will show you how to add those afterwards. So let's just use the regular dollar sign for now, for USD, and we'll also use the regular dollar sign for Jamaican dollars. This plugin also has built-in, it fetches currencies, the international currencies, and that feature is built in. So you just want to click this refresh button here, and it should load the correct conversion rate. If this conversion rate isn't correct, then you can also manually adjust it. So let's just say Jamaican dollars was 156. You could set that, and this manual change, you can save this manual change afterward. All right, so you could do something like that and you can save the changes. Okay, let's just take a quick look at some of the other options this plugin has, right? So it allows you to configure a welcome currency, and that means that the first time one of your visitors lands on your website, this is the currency that will be shown by default, right? So we have USD configured as the welcome currency here. You can set it to any currency you like. You can choose a different currency aggregator. I always leave it on Yahoo Finance. I'm going to skip a couple of these options because they aren't important for what we're talking about today. But this is important here, and here we have currency symbols, right? So when I do something like this, I could do JMD with a space and a dollar sign to show Jamaican dollars, for example. So these are default settings, and I tend to just leave them as is. Mainly we want to configure our currency settings here and our welcome currency on this options page, and then we're going to save. And there's one final setting that I want to highlight, which is very important for what we're about to do here, and that setting allows customers to check out in the currency that is chosen. So that is this option right here. It says, is multiple allowed? And the description says customers will pay in the selected currency. Now you need to make sure that this is selected as yes, because if it's selected as no, then your website will always check out in the base currency, the default currency, whether or not the visitor has chosen the additional currencies that you add. So you want to just make sure that this is set to yes, and you save your options here. Okay, because my account has been set up for Trinidad and Tobago dollars and USD, I'm just going to reconfigure this page here to Trinidad and Tobago dollars. I'm going to manually set our rate. Okay, and I'm going to save these changes. Great. Now this currency switcher has a shortcode, and what I'm going to do for demonstrating this is to add this shortcode to one of the test products that I have. Alright, so let me pull up this test product. And in this product description area, I'm just going to add the shortcode WOOCS, and that stands for WooCommerce Currency Switcher. Click this. Update, and let's take a look at this product. Alright, great. So in the description of my product, I now have a currency switcher. Most people would put a currency switcher in a global area of their website, like right up here in the header. And that is one of the most common areas you see currency switchers on our website. So you can always include this shortcode here once you have access to be able to edit the header and footer of your website. Also, the flags that we were talking about earlier would show up here, right? And this is what the interface for your currency switcher looks like. So by default, as we configured in the back end, it starts with US dollars, and you have the option to change to TT dollars. Now let's just change to TT dollars and see what happens to the price here. Okay, so we have $1 US as the price for this test product, and let's just change to TT dollars. You'll see that the page refreshes and our price has been updated. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, we are in Trinidad and Tobago dollars right now. I'm going to add this product to the cart. Okay, so the payment page has loaded successfully, and what is important here is that we see the same amount in our total here with our total in our embedded payment page, as well as the correct currency. So let's just do the same thing, but we're going to do that in US currency now. So I'm just going to remove this product from my cart. Okay. And I'm going to pull up my test product again. All right, let's switch to US currency. Go back to $1. I'm going to add that to the cart. And proceed to checkout. Okay, and here we have our payment page loads again, but this time we have the same amount in our total here with the correct currency. So that is pretty much it. Once you've configured your Scotiabank account to accept multiple currencies, all you need to do is install a currency switcher on your website and a reliable way for your customers to switch currencies, and you should be all set up to accept multiple currencies online. If you need any additional help with anything WordPress, as well as getting your online store up and running, we'd be happy to help. Reach out to us via our contact page or at info@wpcompanion.co, and we'd be honored to get that conversation started. Have a great day.